What's up, kitten cats? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a video that I have had on my planner for about 4 weeks now, and that is my current fitness goals video. But I just wanted to make this video because after my explant surgery I can actually train again and progress again and recover again, and it's great. I just want to make a video sharing some of my goals in hopes that it inspires some of you guys to set some goals of your own and to strive for them. So let's get into this video. It's gonna be kind of all over the place because I have absolutely no structure planned for this video, so it's just gonna be me word vomiting. A lot of the goals that I wrote out when I first returned to training, so some of them have already been met. So for example, like I wanted to ease back in with 4 times a week of lifting when I was cleared to lift again, but now I'm back up to 5, so that's super awesome. So goal number 1 for your girl is body fat loss. So over the last couple of years with everything that I had going on, it was 1, impossible for me to recover from training, which made it 2, really impossible or nearly impossible to train hard, or at least train hard consistently. I would go through spurts where I could train more and other spurts where I just couldn't. So my body composition has shifted in a not so favorable direction, and I've been really uncomfortable for over a year, and I'm really excited to not be uncomfortable anymore. So a lot of people ask like, oh my god, when are you gonna compete again, da-da-da-da, and before I can even prep again, I have to do like a pre-prep. So I have to get to a place where I could reasonably and safely and as healthily as possible prep from before I can actually prep, and I need to stay there for a hot second before I can actually prep. So goal number 1 would be to get to that healthy, comfortable, livable body composition. So I'm definitely not there yet, but I'm on the way there. So I'm working with Nick still, and honestly ever since I got back into training, got back into things, sorry if they feel like I'm gonna burp, but ever since I got back into things, he hasn't changed my macros a single time, and I still progress, and I get so like, ugh, he has to tell me this like almost like every other week at least at this point. I'm like, can we push a little bit? And he's like, dude, you're still progressing. No, we need to take it slow and steady. And I'm like, but please. And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, been on the same macros for, I want to say like 6 weeks now, 6+ weeks now, I think, and still progressing from those. I've lost a little over 6 inches so far, so I'm currently not weighing myself. That just became like a really psychologically damaging thing. So I do progress pictures and I take measurements every week. I've taken measurements for years and years and years, so I've gotten really good at it. So there's less just user error when I take measurements. So there's still a pretty reliable form of progress tracking, and so far I've lost a little over 6 inches. Still a long way to go, but I'm really excited about that, and very, very, very happy to finally just have something, the needle moving in a good direction. So that's really awesome. I guess right now would be like the pre-prep phase, because I'm trying to get myself into a healthy position that I could prep from again. So honestly, if I had to put like a timeline on it, I probably won't compete for at least another 1 to 2 years if I had to put a timeline on it. Obviously I want to compete as soon as possible, but I also want to compete at my best, and I want to do it when it's the right time. So I've learned a lot of patience in the last couple years, which is ultimately a lesson that I needed to learn. So that's all well and good and cool. Another big goal that I had that it's kind of already been met a little bit is just, this video also is super casual. Like my hair's still wet. I took a shower a little bit ago. Like we're just super casual here. But another big goal that I had was just to feel at home in the gym again. So when you can't recover from training, when you don't know if you're gonna like feel super inflamed or not the day after you train, when you don't know if you're gonna perform poorly, going to the gym isn't as fun. Like I would go into the gym almost scared, and I developed like a really bad relationship with training. I would still train, but I would have so many sessions where I would get super upset or I would cry, where I would just be so mad at myself and my body for what was happening, and felt like, and feeling like I couldn't control it. And so I just wanted the gym to feel like home again, and a place that I wanted to be again, and I wanted training to just feel like that natural in the zone feeling again. And that's already started to come back. I remember the first day that it happened, I'm pretty sure I was doing legs, and I just sat there and I was like, it's a lot easier to notice when things feel bad than when they feel good. But I just caught myself in the middle of training, and I was like, wait a minute, this feels fun, this feels good, like I'm just getting lost in training again. And like I just had a little moment to myself in the gym, and it's been getting back to that ever since. You know, I don't have perfect days. I still have days where I still feel really self-conscious, where I get frustrated that I'm not as strong as I used to be, whatever it is. But on the whole, training is feeling a lot more just like something that I love and is a release and feels like home to me again. So that's just like the biggest biggest blessing in the whole world. Like, I'm so thankful for that. Then another goal that I have, which is like a weird goal, I need to improve my just general aerobic capacity. When I couldn't recover from training, my cardio was also really low because we just didn't want to put any more recovery, like, detriment on my body. So I wasn't doing a whole lot of cardio, and cardio got really hard. When I came back to doing cardio after surgery, I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't do shit. So that has actually already started to improve, and I'm able to do cardio and not feel as much like a marshmallow, which is great. So I'm just getting better aerobic capacity. You know, I can go faster, I can go at a higher incline, I can just do more things without feeling as rough by the end of it, which all good in my book. And I guess another goal, which goes along with the fat loss goal, is I just want to be in a body where I feel good again. Like, so I remember the first time where I was like on a beach and I caught myself kind of like I caught myself in the gym, and I remember when I was like, wow, I'm not concerned with my body, with how my body looks like at all in this moment. And then I got ripped away real quick, and like, I'm just, one of my goals is to like, and this is gonna be something that comes with a mental and a physical transformation, but just not feel so psychologically burdened by how my body looks. Like, it's very stressful feeling uncomfortable in your body, and I don't think people talk enough about, and I just made a post on this the other day, but people don't talk enough about how feeling uncomfortable in your body impacts the other areas of your life. Like, when you feel self-conscious, it affects your relationships, it affects your business, it affects your performance, like in school, like in everything. It affects so many things. And I think that extends, I don't think that's just superficial. Like, I think we all have the right to feel confident in our bodies and to feel happy in our bodies, both with how they perform and how they look. Like, I don't think it's bad to want to be in a body that you are confident in the way that it looks. I feel like we've kind of demonized that, and we've kind of been like, oh, well, you should only focus on how your body performs. And I agree that shifting your focus from predominantly what your body looks like to predominantly what it can do, I still think that we all have some degree of vanity, and I think a healthy level of vanity is okay. But to make a very long story short, I just want to be comfortable in the way my body looks again. And that's coming along, and like, I have little moments where I'm like, oh, this is getting better. But like, on the whole, I'm just really excited and really striving towards rebuilding and re-carving out a body that I am excited to show up in the world in, if that makes any kind of conceivable sense. And then I guess number 5, so while I'm not necessarily trying to pursue pure strength at the moment, like 1 rep max strength, I do want my gym performance to go back up. So obviously, you know, when I couldn't recover from training, my training took a hit from that, and then having surgery and having to take a few weeks off of training, my training performance took a hit from that. So this is kind of like a recomposition, and that's kind of what it's proven to be thus far. I'm continually getting better each week on the whole. There's some weeks where it dips, like when I'm on my cycle, my performance dips a little bit, or when I'm about to be on my cycle, but like on the whole, performance is increasing and I'm able to move a little bit more weight in the gym. But overall, I just want to be in a place where I feel good in the gym, where I'm getting good muscle contractions, where I'm having good workouts, where I leave feeling like I put in some work there. But overall, just trying to perform well again, you know, going from being a very high performing person, like I was never the best Olympic lifter by any means, but like I could throw some weight around like in a controlled manner, in a safe manner. But like I was very strong for my size, and then having all that taken away from you and then getting larger and feeling like it was out of your control, terrible. So just getting back to like a happy place with training again, where I feel like I'm making strides forward, where I'm enjoying myself in the gym, where I'm not super preoccupied with how I look, all of those things. Those are some of my main goals right now. I feel like this video was so discombobulated just because I had no plan going into this, and because I've already like started working towards some of the goals that I have. So I guess it's not as like fun as if it was completely fresh and just like I hadn't gotten anywhere yet, but I'm starting to get places. And I guess another goal that I have, which I just did a post on this morning, is acknowledging the small progress that I do make. So Grant gets on me about this all the time. I'm really, really bad about this, and you guys probably are too, because I feel like a lot of us are very type A and just very like perfectionistic, but I have a very hard time acknowledging any form of progress. little husky puppy. Oh, I want you. That puppy is so cute. Oh my god. But I personally have a hard time acknowledging any like small progress that I make that's not the big goal, if that makes sense. So, for example, I've been consistently losing inches week by week by week, and like I can see it in my progress photos, but I have a harder time seeing it in my daily life. And so like in my head, I feel like I'm still where I was 6 weeks ago, even though cognizantly and like my intelligent brain knows I'm not and knows that I'm like past that. But I don't know, there's something in my brain that's like, you're still stuck here in this really unhappy place because it's not the place that you want to end up in, if that makes sense. So another goal that I have is just do a better job of acknowledging the small strides forward that I make. And because like I talk about like brick by brick all the freaking time, and it's like, okay, you laid down like that small progress is like a brick being laid down. And so like I can't just be like, well, it's not a house, so I haven't done shit. So I just need to do a better job of not being so hard on myself, because I am extremely consistent. I'm doing everything that I need to do. I'm controlling my controllables, and I am seeing that quantifiably and qualifiably. Like, so to make a long story short, I need to just chill the fuck out. It's basically what I'm getting at here. And just enjoy this process of, that sounds so cliche, but just enjoy this process of like retransforming, because like I'm gonna be real. So when I first made my like first big transformation when I was a freshman in college, I didn't really have an audience at all. I had like maybe a few thousand followers by the time it was all said and done. I didn't have a YouTube channel yet, didn't have any of that. It was just Instagram. So like now it's kind of like I'm retransforming all over again. So right now it's not only do I get to transform for myself again, but now I have this awesome audience of my little kitten cats that get to watch it happen too. So that's honestly something I've never really had to navigate. Obviously I've done contest preps in front of you guys before, like no big deal, but I've never gone from like a position like this to where I would like to go. So it'll be interesting for me. It's definitely different. There's a lot of uncharted waters at the moment, and it was almost easy. I feel like the first transformation is psychologically the easiest, because like you've never been anything better than when you've had your first transformation, or at least I hadn't. So I have nothing to compare that to. So like I would just be super excited about any progress all the time, but now I have like that nagging, oh well, you've still been better than this. Whatever. I play with I'm very like fidgety now, because I've already had like multiple really awesome transformations in my life. In the back of my head, I'm like, and I would argue that this is like the worst position I've ever been in physiologically. I have in my head, I'm like, oh well, you've still been better than this before, like why are you excited about that, da, 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 which is so dumb. Another goal that's not necessarily fitness related but is important and relevant to this is the mental work that I have to do. So I've spent the majority of the last 2 years in a mind state where I'm conditioned for things to go wrong, if that makes sense. So I catch myself a lot of times because I'm so used to things like they would maybe get like a little bit better, and then it would be like they're 10 times worse, that kind of thing. So I catch myself being like, am I really making progress? Like when is that going to stop happening? Am I like like it's hard for me to believe and be happy about the fact that I am making progress, because I'm so used to not. So I'm like mentally conditioned to experience negative things, and that's really fucking bad. It's really not good for you. So like I have to learn how to flip the switch of I'm used to bad negative things happening no matter how much I wanted positive things to happen, to just being like, okay, positive things are happening to me. I'm gonna let go of all the negative things. Like I'm gonna let go of this, and I'm gonna let the good stuff happen. And by this, I don't just mean like physically, I mean like mentally too. Just like I've been in a very negative headspace the last couple years. And so I just need to do the work of mentally letting that go, and to reigniting the fire of the super positive, happy-go-lucky, optimistic, hardworking, like all of those different qualities that am. because she's been a little suppressed for the last couple years. But yeah, I've become really negative, and that's not me at all. I know that's not my true self. I know that my true self, like my highest self, she's a very positive and optimistic and hardworking and loving and kind and just go get it type of person. Like I'm the person, like I'm the hype woman. Like I'm everybody else's hype woman, and I used to be really good at being my own hype woman. And I'm still pretty good at being other people's hype woman, but I need to get better and need to get back to being my own hype woman. And being my own Wonder Woman mentality, that whole thing. Like I've felt just like there's been a veil over my whole life for the last couple years, and I just need to let that thing fucking go. Which is not, I feel like that's gonna be harder than any of the physical stuff, because the physical stuff is just like, hey, eat your food and do your workouts and do your cardio and get your sleep and manage your stressors and da 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 da. But all of that mental work and all of that mental unpacking, it's gonna be rough, and it has already proven to be rough, and I just gotta stick it out. I mean, I wish it was as easy to make mental shifts as it is to be like, okay, these are my macros. It's definitely not. It takes a lot of unlearning of your old habits and your old mind patterns, and like I don't really think you can ever really unlearn anything. Like once you've created a pathway in here, you don't just get to uncreate it, you have to create a new one, and that's the hard part, is creating those new mental pathways. So I feel like that's like the base goal that will help lead to all of the other goals. But yeah, I'm sorry this video is all over the place. Like I haven't filmed in so long, and I haven't been in a filming rhythm for so long that this actually feels unnatural for the first time since I started YouTube in like 2015. But I had a little bit of extra time today before I left for my internship, and I was like, girl, you have not put up a video in like over a month. You need to do that because I love you guys so much, and I genuinely am excited to be like getting back into my groove, and especially when school is over in 32 days. I should hopefully have more time to be on like a more regular filming schedule and all that good happy stuff. But yeah, I had a little bit of extra time today, so I was like, even if there's no outline or no plan or no anything, we're just gonna go off the cuff and we're gonna make it happen, and if it's shit, we just won't release it and we'll do it again. But hopefully it's not shit, and if you're viewing this, then apparently I didn't personally think it was entirely shit, but you might feel differently. But anyway, I love you guys. I hope this video inspired you to set some goals for yourself and to realize that you're not stuck wherever you are. You're never stuck. You just have to get to the root of the problem that you're having and then decide to move forward. And I think that's another big thing for me too, is like I've gotten a lot of questions from you guys just on Instagram about how things are going, post-explant, all that stuff. And it's going really, really well. And I'm not sharing it because it's not going well. I'm not sharing it because I kind of feel like I said my piece. You know, it's still something that I'm going to advocate for and I'm still going to speak up about, but I don't want my content to just be consumed by that. And honestly, I want to move on with my life. And I feel like if I continue to sit and talk about that and to harp on it and all of that stuff, that it would almost hold me back in a way from moving forward and moving on. Because it was like kind of a traumatic experience. Like the last few years have been a little traumatic. And I don't use that word lightly because I know there are people out there that are dealing with very serious PTSD. But it's just something that I want to put behind me. And again, something that I'm still going to advocate for, still spread the word about, still share with people about. But things are going really great. I'm super happy. Almost all my symptoms are gone. And that's all I can really ask for. So I don't really feel a need to do a ton of videos on it anymore, or a ton of posts on it anymore, or anything like that. Because now it's about rebuilding and just moving and just moving forward from here. And just making strides forward from here and becoming the best version of me that there's been yet. And I'm just really excited for that. And I'm trying not to carry a ton of the past with me. I'm trying to just go. But anyway, I love you guys. It would mean the world to me if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you would be so kind, leave a comment below of like one or more of the goals that you have, like 1 to 3 of the goals that you have right now, what you're trying to do, whether it's with fitness, whether it's with school, whether it's with your business, your job, your relationships, whatever it is. I would love to hear some of the goals that you have. I love having conversations with you guys, and I'm just super happy to be reconnecting with you guys again. One of the things that I'm most grateful for from my explant experience was just the amount of increased connection I felt to you guys. Like, I feel much more just like this with you guys. Like, I talk to you guys more, I DM with you guys more, I Instagram comment with you guys more. It's just really nice. It's just really awesome for me. And like I felt like I've been missing that for a while. So to my OG kitten cats that are still here, that have been around through all of this, like, you guys will never know how much I appreciate just the fact that you're still here and the fact that you still support what I do, because I know that that's changed a lot in the last couple years. Not because I wanted it to, but that's just what happened. So I just really appreciate you guys that are still here and that do still care, because you guys are such a huge part of my life. So I'm really excited to have that back. And before I get too much more emotional, I'm gonna cut this video here. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Alright.